Hi guys. Hi Mert. Hi Amrinder. How are you? Doing a quick sound check right here to make sure everything is working as expected. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear the music okay? Is it too loud? Hey Abdul Rahman, Christopher, and hi to Florida, Sellers Best Deals. How are you guys doing? I'm finishing my breakfast right now, so if you'll excuse me. What vehicle challenge, man? I don't know what challenge you're referring to. It's just a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, so nothing fancy. 8:30 p.m. over there in India. Yeah, I know. Almost 12-hour difference. Today we're gonna work in ZBrush. I haven't worked in ZBrush in a while, so I wanna sculpt some stuff. Yeah, I love peanut butter and jelly. It's really, really good. It's not a very common thing here in Mexico, to be honest. I mean, of course, people eat them, but when I was in the US, I was in California, in Los Angeles, and that was one of my main sources of of breakfast because it's cheap and good. José Mauricio Flores, buenos días, amigo. Aquí andamos. First, happy Monday. Barjacine from France. How are you, my friend? How are you? I'll just move this thing a little bit out of the way. Do you have any plans of doing a stream on Maya? We did that last week. We were doing some texturing. But we might do a little bit of Maya today as well. Today in Mexico, it's a national holiday. It's the Constitution Day. So we've had several constitutions throughout the years, and I think the last one was 1915, something like that. And we commemorated on February 5th, but they usually move the dates around. Yeah, don't worry, sellers. All of our live streams are up there on the channel. So if you go to the channel and if you go to the videos, there's one other section called lives, and you're gonna find that one right there. There we go. José Mauricio, no hay versión de estudiantes, lamentablemente. Hay un par de versiones un poco más accesibles. Está la ZBrush Core. Creo que se llama ZBrush Core o ZBrush... Creo que es ZBrush Core. Es una versión como gratis y es muy buena opción para iniciar. No tiene todas las herramientas avanzadas que usamos, pero te da una buena idea de cómo funciona el programa. Y luego ya que subas a la versión Pro, puedes comprar la licencia, que sí está algo cara, la verdad, o la suscripción mensual, que es un poco más accesible, pero pues no eres dueño del programa. Cuando terminas de pagar la suscripción, pues te quitan el acceso. Punisher YouTube Vehicle Challenge. I haven't seen that one, but my advice about challenges is try to participate in as many as you can. It gives you exposure. You can get you can like win a prize and stuff like that. So it's always a good thing. So today, guys, I thought it would be fun to do a creature. Okay, so I'm gonna show you 3 options, and you guys are gonna let me know which one we're gonna do. You guys know it's gonna be about the like role-playing games. So first is a giant maggot. I need to sculpt a giant maggot. This will be one of the possible options, like this little dude right here. Another option is a like a will-o-wisp. It's not exactly a will-o-wisp, but it's kind of like a will-o-wisp. This is gonna be like a skull with fire. I don't remember exactly the name, but I'll look for it. So something like this. That's pretty cool. And then the third option is a... What was it? Oh yeah, it was a really cool thing. It was called a slurk. It's like a frog with tusks. It's really cool. So you guys tell me, what should we do today? Should we do the frog with tusks, the slurk, a will-o-wisp, or a giant maggot? One of these three. You guys choose. I'm gonna wait a couple of... I wish... Can we do a poll? Oh, I can do a poll. I'll do a poll. Give me a second. Let's do a poll. It's gonna be frog. I think the frog is winning. I don't think we need to do the poll. The frog is definitely winning. Okay, we'll do the frog. We'll do the slurk right here. Really cool concept, to be honest. Armando Dulanto, I admire you. And I admire you, my friend. Thank you for following. Cool. So we're gonna do this for 3D print. We're gonna do this for 3D printing, okay? So that means that we need to take certain things into consideration. We can't just like start sculpting and that's it. First, we need to think if we want this character to be on a pose, or do we do it on a standard pose. I think the standard is fine. So I'm gonna follow this one right here, this concept. And there's a lot of ways to do this. I'm gonna use Pure Ref real quick. There we go. So that we can have the picture right here. Well, there we go. That way you guys can see it as well. Am I enjoying apple pie? It was not apple pie. It was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and yes, it was really it was really good. So let's start with our move brush, or clay buildup is fine. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start blocking in the main shapes of the thing. Music a little too high? Let me get that down. That should be better, right? I just wanted like a little background music. Yeah, PureRef is a great software, guys. If you haven't gotten PureRef yet, like go and download it. It's completely free, and it's just perfect for ZBrush and for a lot of other stuff. So I'm gonna start with the head right here. Just the volume. Right now, the first step whenever you're starting a sculpture or anything is just focus on the volumes. Don't think about the details. Don't think about anatomy. Don't think of anything like that. Just the main volumes. We want to capture the volumes of the character. Now you can see that this frog has the insertion of the arms quite low, so it's like right around there. I'm gonna mask this out, and then with W, I'm gonna push this out and down. That's gonna be like the shoulders, something like that. Kind of going backwards, and then from here, again, we just like move them forward, and that's gonna be the front part of the legs. We'll work on the legs and the little things later. And then on the back here, we have the hips. So this will be like the hips. It's probably gonna be like a bum right there, like a little tail. It's like the hip. And then from the hip, we're gonna extrude the knees down. There we go. We're gonna mask this out. Let's Dynamesh first. We're gonna mask this out. We invert this and we create the back part of the legs. Of course, we need to give them a little bit more volume. Dynamesh. And there's a lot of ways in which you can start a sculpting or a sculpture. I really like, if you guys have seen any of my like ZSpheres courses, I really like ZSpheres because they allow you to have you really control like what would be the name? A very controlled armature. I'm gonna use the spheres here for the arms or for the hands. So it's like the volume of the hand right now. And same thing for the legs. The main thing about this like first steps is to be, I would say, as fast as possible in creating the general shape of the thing. Yeah, ZSpheres are great. I love ZSpheres. Paras has a question. Says, hey Abraham, I have a very interesting question. What if we recreate 3D art of the AI art which someone else posted on the social media? That's a really, really interesting question. See, the problem with 3D or with AI art is that it is sampling a lot of things from a lot of artists. So technically, I don't think you would get into a like legal issue because the piece that has been created does not belong to whoever used the algorithm. Maybe some of the AI artists would say that they do own the concept or the queries or whatever, but the thing is they don't own any of the original images. They just like played around with the prompts and stuff. So again, technically, I don't think you would get into an issue, but it's a new stuff. Like it's a new area, so I don't know. I don't really know the answer. If you really, really like something, like a specific piece of art, I mean, you could always just contact the AI person that did that thing and be like, hey, I like this stuff. I want to make a 3D like art out of it. And then you're good to go. The other option, I mean, again, it's this really, we're in this like a no man's land right now. And you could just take that image and create more variations of that AI art, and then you're fine, I guess. But that's the problem. I recently saw this sort of there was this like it was like a debate or something in the I think it was Twitter, where an AI artist created a piece and then another AI artist took that piece and continued to refine it, and then the first AI artist was really angry because they stole his work. So yeah, it's really, really interesting. I personally think that AI art is not gonna disappear. So I do think we need to find a proper way to utilize it, but a way that is moral and responsible with everyone else that has, or with whoever added like stuff to it, right? I think it's a tricky question, man. It's a tricky question. Again, I don't think you're gonna get into any issues if you do a model for your portfolio. If you do it for commercial use, that's when things could get tricky. But as long as it's for your portfolio, you should be fine. Yeah, I think, for instance, Pradep, that's a great thing. Yes, AI will definitely be useful for textures, and usually no one's gonna complain about AI creating a brick texture or a like, I don't know, like a steel texture, stuff like that, right? So it's a really interesting thing. Like, I've used AI art for some thumbnails on the channel, and it's just abstract art. Like, I just input like colors, waves, rainbows, and stuff like that, and I just use it as a sort of like a background. And I also think that's like fine because it's not like someone's specific art style. But you start getting into this very like tricky situations when you like sample a specific artist. Like, I've seen some people do prompts where they would say like I don't know, like Picasso, right, or like Da Vinci and stuff like that, and it looks like those persons. It can get tricky. It can definitely get tricky. But again, AI is one of those things, guys. It's not gonna go anywhere. So we need to find a way to work with it, not against it. Yeah, I can try it live another time. Not today, but I can try it live another time. Yeah, again, it's a tricky thing. Like, for instance, have you guys heard about the Chat GPT? That thing it's bonkers, guys. It's crazy. I've been using it quite a bit for my stories for D&D, and it gives so many good options and answers. Like, if you literally talk to it, it's really interesting. But for instance, I know that even though it's giving me really good like stories and ideas, I know that I'm not a writer, and I would never claim to be a writer. I'm just using it to what's the word? To save a little bit of time, right? So that's how that's what I'm saying. Like, I think as long as you use it as a tool, it's fine, but you need to be careful. Okay, I can see a like brief, like, I don't know, like a rib cage sort of thing right here. So I'm just gonna start adding the volume there for the rib cage. And now we're gonna start, or we can start like adding, see how there's like a flappy surfaces here? Like the skin folding on top of the neck. We can start adding that sort of stuff. Definitely need to add more volume here underneath the mouth. And now we can start. Now that we have the primary forms, or at least a base for the primary forms, we can start with the next thing, which is secondary forms. So I'm gonna bring the eyes forward. I think they're a little bit too far back. Yeah, that definitely changes the way the face looks. Let's start adding a little bit more volume over here. As you can see, when I'm working on this like first stages, just like the sketching stages, I rarely use other brushes. I mostly use clay buildup, Damien Standard, and Move, because I really like the speed that clay buildup gives you. It's a really intense or really strong way to build form. Okay, this spikes right here, they're going up rather than down, so let's point them up. Yeah, we're getting there, man. We're getting to the Doka, we're getting to the make art stuff, but I still think, because that's very interesting. I was again playing around with GPT yesterday. And whenever I like try to get an opinion, the model will always tell you I cannot give opinions. I only only splurt out data. Like, they don't, like, the AI does not know whether the ideas that it's giving are good or not. It's just extrapolating from a lot of different sources, seeing what's common, what's not common, and stuff like that. So yes, we will save time. I think that's the thing. We will save time, and we can find ways. I showed last week the photogrammetry thing is using a lot of things with AI, like the auto masking thing. So AI is a good thing as long as we find proper ways to use them to get rid of all of the boring work. Like, imagine if we could have like a retopology AI where all of the retopology is just perfect at the first time, like no spirals, perfect animation, edge loops and stuff like that. We'll get there. I'm sure we'll get there. And that would be great, because that way we don't need, or we're not gonna need as much time doing that, and we can spend more time on the fun process, such as this, which is the sculpting process, right? Yes, I'm planning. I'm probably gonna do something different. Like, I might not do the barrel. I'm thinking about doing a photo scan of myself. That would be an interesting one, like of a face. And I'm trying to, or maybe like a food, like a pizza or like a donut or something, because those are usually the tricky things that we have issues like sculpting. A croissant would be great, right? a French croissant, that would be a nice idea. Because imagine trying to like sculpt a perfect croissant. That would be really, really, really tricky. So 3D reconstruction would be really, really interesting. Here I'm gonna make the brush really big to make the tusks a little bit curved. There we go. And now I'm gonna use again trim dynamic to give them a more hard surfacey look. Like that. It's really close to their bodies, but I want to kind of keep it like out. And then of course I need to go, well, we need to mirror this. Might be a little bit too thick. And now we go back to the body and we add like a little bit of support here. That would be great. I went to France when I was younger on a trip with my parents, and we went to Notre Dame and Moulin Rouge and stuff like that area. But we went. It was really late. It was just like a stop. We were traveling to Austria, so I didn't get a chance to try the original French croissant. Let's see, more questions. José Mauricio says, en 2009 y 2011 escribí 2 libros de Maya, pero mi vida me llevó por otros caminos, pero no deja de encargarme. Sí, pues mira, la verdad Maya sí ha cambiado mucho en los últimos años. Mucha metodología que se usaba antes pues ya se ha vuelto algo obsoleta. Mucho de lo que se hace ahora es, hacemos a los personajes aquí en ZBrush y luego le hacemos el retopology en Maya, porque es más rápido que tratar de hacer el polymodeling básico. Pero sí, yo también más o menos desde 2011 he estado usando Maya, entonces me ha tocado ver todo el crecimiento de la industria. You believe you can get realistic results in a creature using Substance Painter, or Mari is better for this? I think it depends on the product, again on the sort of like a thing that you're going for. Because I've seen some really good stuff on both of them. Usually Mari is the solution, the choice for film and commercials, because you can work with a lot of UDEMs and it's a different process. It is procedural, but it's slightly different than Substance. So you can have like way more textures and way more complexity. So I know a lot of films use Mari for that one, but you can do great stuff in Substance as well. I think the legs are a little bit thin. Is it better having an English channel than a Spanish one, right? It's a great question as well, Juan Jose. So Nextut, the channel we're in right now, I am part of the Nextut team. I'm not the owner. Nalini is the owner. So I am. I'm hired to do this. But when I had a critical hit over here in Mexico, we did have a good following as well. We did some live streams and everything. However, yes, like the universal language is English, so you might get like a bigger audience. But I know that there's a lot of audience in Spanish-speaking countries that do not have or that do not know English as well. So doing it in Spanish might also be a good idea. I think it's the direction of the arms that's like freaking me out. There we go. That's a little bit better. And let's push this up. Ironically, I like both. Yeah, I like them too. I actually really like doing both of them. It's quite relaxing, but it is tedious, right? Like we know it's one of those things that if we could maybe eliminate it, it might be good for art overall. Start adding a little bit more muscle on the arms because they're looking really, really flimsy. So the elbow would be here. And then we have like pretty much like a normal human's arm. The normal muscles that we would expect. Name any of your courses for UV texturing. The last one. If you want to learn like really cool UV and texturing, the last one that I just released, the advanced character creation, or what was advanced textures for character creation, that one's like a masterclass in texturing. We go over the whole retopology process, which is quite a bit, and then we do the texturing. So I would definitely recommend that one. Have you ever thought about starting Twitch? I used to have a Twitch with my old school with Critical Hit, but we never got as many views and as many interactions as what we have here in YouTube. So I'm not sure I would start a Twitch, to be honest. The thing is, Twitch is more for games, right? Like for entertainment. And even though I know that we can do entertaining stuff here on the channel, it's very difficult to compete against the streamers that are playing games and doing a lot of like crazy stuff. So I'm not sure it will be it will be really difficult again to compete and get a nice audience. Like we've gotten way more organic growth here in YouTube with the tutorials and everything than what I got with Twitch. My little frog here is really fat. Let's trim him down a little bit. He should be bulky, but not this bulky. Hey Ariane, doing great. I got your email yesterday. It was you, right? You sent me more updates on your stuff. There wasn't a message, so I wasn't sure if you were looking for feedback or just wanting to show me the progress, but it's looking really good, man. Really good. Let's grab our move brush here, and we're gonna push this forward. That's gonna be the foot. And there's gonna be overlap. Since this is gonna be for 3D printing, we really don't care that much about about like animation, retopology, and stuff like that. Start doing the fingers. How many fingers do frogs have? 3? 4? It's like 4, right? Let's grab this trim dynamic and just flatten the foot right here. Hands are really big on this dude. Even the arms are quite big, so I'm gonna grab my move brush. I'm gonna give him some like stronger arms. Of course, that means that we need to give him some stronger. Well, that was a stronger forearms. Let's give him some slightly stronger arms as well. That will be like the rib cage. Do you plan an intermediate or advanced hard surface modeling for Maya? I am actually working on that one right now. After I finish this live stream, I'm gonna continue recording that one. The next course that's gonna be releasing this month, at the end of this month, is gonna be an intermediate advanced modeling texturing for Maya. We're gonna do a robot, a really cool robot. I'm not gonna spoil yet what the robot's gonna be, but yeah, that's the next one. That's the next one, Barjasian. Am I planning to do a rigging course in Blender? I don't think so. I am like the rigging course that I created for Maya. I think is a really good one to understand the principles of rigging. However, some of the things in there are, I wouldn't say simple, but they're basic, right? So if you're doing basic stuff, like maybe if I wanted to rig this guy, that's more than enough. Like having that information is going to give you a really good result. But if you want to do like really advanced rigs for movies and games, you need like more information. And unfortunately, I'm not that guy. I don't have. I'm not a rigger special. Rigging is not my specialty, right? So. Mohit says, "Hi Abraham, please make course or tutorials on creating feathers for animals realistic." Okay, yeah, I can see how I can look into that. I don't think we need a full course, but we could do a mini series here in YouTube because it's not like 10 hours. Like it's usually fairly. It's like hair. You actually use hair systems to do that. Will I upload this video? All of these videos are online, my friends. I repeat this frequently, but I know it's a little bit difficult to, or it's possible that some people missed it. If you go to the channel and you go to the videos section, on the top part of the channel, you're gonna find a live section, and all of the live streams that we've done and will be doing are gonna be there. They are there, and they're gonna be there. So yeah, this thing's gonna be there. Just look it up after the stream is done. We already have a course on trees. It's the speed tree course. It was not done by me, but it's there on the channel, and the instructor is really good as well. You want to check that out. If you want like more stylized trees, we can look into that. We can definitely look into that. And you're welcome, Mahit. Thank you for your kind words. I love teaching, so doing courses is always really fun. I want to push the hips up, but I want to keep the back big. The frog looks like a walrus. Yeah, I think that's the point. I don't know if you guys heard about the crazy things that happened on the D&D world last month, but the Wizards of the Coast, which are the creators, well, are the owners of the D&D IP right now, they tried doing some really questionable things business-wise, and the whole community, me included, we pushed back against that, and there was this huge like boycott of the D&D products to make them listen and understand that the things that they were doing were not right. And they did change their mind after a couple of weeks, but during that time, a lot of us, I wouldn't say, well, yeah, there was a lot of people. We started looking at other systems. So I jumped to Pathfinder, which is like the alternate fantasy system, or one of the most alternate fantasy systems. And in my group, the friends I play with, we talked about it and we saw the system. We started like toying around with it, and we love it. It's really cool. So we switched. We're now playing Pathfinder instead of D&D. As part of the boycott and as a part of just liking the system a little bit better. So this monster right here is from one of the adventures on the Pathfinder. It's called the Slurk, and that's what I'm trying to do. And it's supposed to be this frog with big tusks. Oh, thank you, World Hopper. I'm really proud about that one. The ZSpheres course that I did last year, the 2022 course, I wanted it to be easy to follow and a lot of exercises. Instead of doing one single exercise like what we did in 2021, I wanted to be multiple exercises so that you guys could learn the tools in a better format. And I think it worked. A lot of people really liked that one. Like multiple short exercises rather than one big one for a beginner is usually really useful. So I'm glad you like it. Doka says, I think most of teachers, YouTubers are switching to Blender mainly for views. A close artist fella told me so. I'm super comfortable in Maya 12 years, so I don't feel like switching is necessary now. Yeah, well, see, the cool thing about Blender, of course, it's free. For instance, myself, here in Mexico, I teach at a university. It's called Universidad Carolina. And I switched to Blender as well. I've been teaching Maya there for like 5 years. And I switched to Blender because students were having a really hard time getting their licenses, and they were having a really hard time like upgrading them and stuff. And since most of the work here in Mexico is very indie, like we don't have as big studios as in the United States or Canada, I was like, well, the reality is, as long as you know how to do 3D in any software, you're gonna be fine, because clients only care about the renders, right? So I switched to Blender for them, and it's been working fine. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna paint the eyes. I normally don't paint the eyes, but I feel like this could be easier to see. So I'm gonna do MRGV. I'm gonna go for a glossy material such as I like the bump viewer. I'm gonna grab the sort of like an orangey color. There we go. Color. I'm gonna say fill object. Oh, we need to get the. There we go. Color. What am I missing? Color. What the hell? Oh no, sorry, that's the bump viewer doesn't work for that. Let's try the toy plastic. Where is it? There we go. Color, fill object. There we go. Now we go back to our basic material. That's it. And we can go here again. I'm gonna use my standard brush. No adding, just RGB. Let's grab a black color. Let's make the draw size a little bit smaller. There we go. I don't usually work with color, but I think it really like gets you into the the mindset to appreciate if you're doing okay or not. Hey Abraham, I'm having a really hard time with Maya Hyper Shader node setup and which plug goes into what is really confusing. I come from a Blender background, by the way. Love you, man. You're great. Thank you, Amir. We can do one. I've done several Maya ones. What are you having issues with? Like how to set up a basic texture, like a PBR texture coming from Substance? Because if that's the case, we can do. I'll probably do a video this week on setting up those materials. It's rather easy, and there's now 2 ways to do it. You can do it with the plugin, with the Substance plugin, or you can do it manually. So I don't know much about like frog anatomy, but I'm gonna guess they have some sort of like deltoid muscle and latissimus dorsi and stuff. So I'm just gonna use my knowledge from human anatomy and try to adapt it to the little frog right here. Here we would have the glutes. Kind of want to make the hip either wider or let's try smaller. Yeah, I think that looks good. Dennis says, hey, what do you prefer to use for creating hair textures? I mean, Fibershop or Xgen, and then baking or something else. Right now, trying to learn hairs, and this is the most difficult part for me. Hairs are really tricky. if you don't want to spend more money and you already have Maya, Action is a great way to do it. It does need a little bit more setup and a little bit more work, but you can get really good results. I did a hair creation tutorial that you can find on the Skillshare and Udemy as well. Hair creation for games, I think it's called, and I show different methods. So yeah, I use Action for that one, but I've seen Hairstop or what's it, Fiber Shop, and it's really good because you get the maps like really nice. At the end of the day, if you're using hair cards, the most important thing are the cards themselves. Like the hair texture, yes, it's important to get some realistic shading and stuff, but the most important thing is the placement of the hair cards. So I'll spend my time on that specific part of the process, to be honest, like making sure the hair placement is right where it's supposed to be. On the last course that I released, the character texture course, I did hair for the character, but it was pure action, and we imported that action directly into Unreal, which is going to be the new thing to do in the next couple of years. Right now, I don't think it's ready yet, but it's important. It's an important skill set to have, because that's where things are going. Like as computers and as processors and stuff get more powerful, we're going to be able to switch from hair cards and go directly to hair systems, which is going to be really cool. Things are going to look amazing in games. I know we're missing a lot of the spikes. We'll add those later. What is your opinion on the future of Maya? Maya is not going anywhere. Like, it's not going to go anywhere. As long as they keep supporting it, and as long as they keep adding like interesting features every now and then, people are still going to use it, and mainly because it's an industry standard, right? So it's going to be very difficult for a whole studio to switch from Maya to other things. Now, here's one thing that I didn't know, and it took me quite a couple of years to understand. Our teachers at school used to tell us that, but it didn't really click. And that's the fact that Maya, one of the big things about Maya, and I know Blender has that too, but Maya has been a little bit stronger in that sense, is that a lot of studios will get a version of Maya, like the basic version of Maya, and then they will hack it. They will rebuild Maya pretty much from scratch using just the bare minimum, and they will create their own tools, their own systems, their own like pipelines and stuff. So for instance, Disney, Action was Disney's. They took Maya and they used Maya as a base, and they built Action on top of that. I believe Bifrost as well. I'm not sure if it was them or who it was, but a lot of companies take Maya, and then the programmers inside those companies, they manipulate Maya and they create new stuff with it. And sometimes they like share that with the world, and we get tools like Action. But and that's a huge advantage because it allows them to create their own tools without the need to share them with other industries that they don't want to, and that's super valuable. So I don't think Maya is going anywhere. I still believe it's going to be one of the main like tools for years to come. However, it is important that you see that Blender is getting quite a bit of traction, especially in the indie world, or with studios that don't have as much budget as the big ones. Like right now here on our studio, most of our artists are using Blender. I just have one girl. She's using Maya because animation is, I find, a little bit easier in Maya, but almost everyone is using Blender. And it's fine because, well, it's great for us because it's since we're a small studio, we will need to pay for a lot of licenses, and that can be quite expensive. What is my version of Maya? I'm using Maya 2023, the latest one. I am subscribed to the Maya Indie license, which is quite affordable, in my opinion. ZBrush, I'm using 2022. I have not updated to 2023. I don't think I will, to be honest. I would love to, but again, they're not doing great things there at Maxon in regards to the pricing. I was expecting a price hike when they announced the new, like the removal of the perpetual license. I was expecting them to be like, okay, now if you want to upgrade, it's gonna be like, I don't know, $200 per year to keep your stuff updated. but they went like full greed mode, and they are now asking for, I think it's like $700 for the full license. Nah, it's not gonna happen. ZSpheres 2022 is more than enough. Okay, here I'm gonna use a brush that's called the knife curve to flatten the foot. I'm actually gonna go all the way to the back so that we can also flatten the back, and we'll fix this in just a second. No, I don't think that Blender is gonna replace Maya. I think it's just gonna be a really good option. That's the thing, and I think that's a good thing actually, because competition brings innovation, right? Like when you have a company that's a monopoly, they can get away with not doing anything. Like that's what's happening with ZBrush. Like for a long time, ZBrush was the best like sculpting app. Nowadays, you have things like 3D Code, you have things like Blender, you have things like Forge, and I think there's a couple of others in like an iPad and stuff. So you can create some really cool things. So if ZBrush does not like do something really interesting in the next couple of years, they might be, I wouldn't say dethroned, right? But they will be facing heavy competition, and their sales are gonna suffer from it. So I think the same is for Maya. Like if Blender keeps some like creating really cool stuff, Maya is gonna start losing some revenue, and when revenue is lost, that's when the executives are like, what are we doing wrong? Like why are people canceling our service? And we need to fix this, right? And that's when you get like innovation. It's unfortunate that it has to go all the way there. Oh, we have a lot of ZBrush tutorials, Akash. I have a tutorial called Complete Guide to ZBrush 2022. It's one of our best-selling courses, and you can find that one. I believe there's some links on the description right now, and you can find those in Udemy or in Skillshare. And that's a really good one to learn about ZBrush. Okay, here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna increase the resolution a little bit, probably like 250, so that we can get more detail. And now I can start working on a couple of more specific details here. For instance, on the eyes, you see how we normally get like wrinkles on the eyes. Now this is going to be again a 3D printed thing, so size wise it's going to be really small. So I really need to push certain things so that it's easy to paint and to use. I'm probably going to be giving this away for free as well, because I can't sell it because the concept is not mine. This thing is from Paizo. But they have a fan policy that allows you to give away this for free, and if people want to donate, then that's fine. So yeah, I'll probably do that. I also uploaded recently, guys, in case you want to check it out, a small video about like copyright and trademark and stuff like that. I think I'm not a lawyer, but it has some interesting tips that I was given by my teachers and my career advisors when I was a student, and I think those are valuable for everyone. Is there a chance for migration from ZBrush to Blender for myself? No, no way. No way. Like, no way I'm gonna change. As long as I mean, if Blender starts adding some really strong things, maybe, but like right now, I've been working for so many years inside ZBrush that will be very difficult for me to get the same results in Blender. Yeah, I studied at Gnomon. Most of you guys already know that. I studied at Gnomon, and when I was a student, most of us were there with the idea of working with films or commercials, like high quality 3D. But at the end of my career, by 2016, a lot of us were getting interested in games. And from my generation, I think 10 of us graduated or something. Probably like half and half. Like half of us work in games and the other half works in like film. Let's add the nose. Yeah, that's one of the things that I found with a Blender, that it can handle high polygons as much or as nicer as nice as ZBrush, and that's due to the way that it's programmed, right? So again, not trying to be a hater or anything. I really like Blender. I use it quite a bit as well, but it's still not there. In regards to sculpting, it's still not on par with what you can do in ZBrush. For simple stuff, yeah, that's fine. Like, you can get some really cool results. I'm 3D Max guy. Should I switch to Maya? What do you think about the future of 3D Studio Max? Oh, that's a great question. I've never used 3D Max. I have it installed because sometimes my clients will send me 3D Studio Max files and I need to export them from there. I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you because I'm not that familiar with the new things that the 3D Studio Max have. I know a lot of architects use it. For instance, here in Mexico, a lot of people who are in ArchViz, they use 3D Studio Max because it comes, or I think it has V-Ray, and V-Ray is really good for architects. But I don't know. If you're interested in going into movies and cinematics and stuff like that, then yes, I would suggest changing to Maya. If you're thinking about games, I know a lot of there are quite a bit of studios that use 3D Studio Max for games as well. So it's it depends. Yeah, 3D Studio Max, again, yeah, I've seen it used quite a bit in games. Amir asks, can I do a video or a course about finding remote work? Yeah, I can talk about that. I mean, the first thing, and we've mentioned this a lot of times, is you need a strong portfolio, right? So, oh, by the way, this weekend we're gonna have portfolio review, guys. I'll announce that on tomorrow's video as well. But yeah, you need to have a strong portfolio, and by doing that, you're gonna be able to get your name out there and get exposure, right? Because that's how you get yourself noticed. I've mentioned this before. I've been extremely lucky to not have the need to apply for jobs. Like, I just applied for one job when I first came out of school, and I got it. And after that, every single job that I've gotten has been because people have contacted me. So I've been extremely lucky there. But that's why I know not everyone's as lucky. So that's why the portfolio is so important, because the portfolio will give you a really good selling point, right? Like, that's your presentation letter, especially if you're like international and you're trying to go for other international clients. I'm gonna add some wrinkles here. I feel like we need something there. I like the little tail, the little butt. What time is it? Almost time. We can go a little bit longer today. Should I have a separated room for my 3D printers at home? I strongly recommend that, because the smells are quite irritant, and I don't know, they could be dangerous. Like, I have mine really close here to my workstation, but my studio is separated from my house, so it's nowhere near the kitchen or the living room or the bedrooms. So, but yeah, like, I normally print at night when I'm not here, and that way I'm not like smelling the whole thing. I've seen some people create this sort of like contraptions where they cover their machine and they have like an air extractor that also works. But yeah, I mean, it's not like you're gonna die from it. It's not like it is toxic, but not toxic like that. However, people are just like, to be safe, because we don't know much about the future repercussions of the 3D resins and the alcohols and stuff. It's just to be safe, try to have it on a separate room. I'm actually thinking about moving it to the room next door. I'll probably do that today, now that I have a little bit more free time. Because sometimes when I print and I'm working here, it smells really strong, and it's uncomfortable. Entertainment Jerk says, how much can be printed with 1 liter of resin? And can you show how much detail a 2D printer can print? Yes, of course. Give me 1 second. So this is the biggest 3D print that I've done. And it was about a liter. But it was the biggest one. Let me show you. So it's quite freaking big. It's a Shard-Lane Dragon from Icewind Dale. And this was like a liter because of all the supports and stuff, right? I think you could print this and like a couple of other like medium ones and several small ones with a liter of resin. But for small ones, like I finished painting this one recently, and I think you could print like at least 50 of these guys with a liter. So 50 like normal human size stuff you could print with 1 liter of resin. So yeah, you can get a lot done with resin. Yeah, all of those are 4K. Let me show you the detail. See if I can focus here. So that's a 2K screen, and as you can see, it's really cool detail. These are not my models, by the way, but it's really good detail. I do have one of my models. Was the 3D printing that I did, 3D printing course. This one right here. And again, you can see the detail. Really tiny. Like even the little nails there. I'm not sure if you can tell them or see them, but the thinness that you can get with the 3D printing is really good. I have the Elegoo 3 Pro, I think. There we go. So I have the Elegoo 3 printer, Elegoo Mars, and yeah, you can get quite great results with that one. I'm not convinced about the arms for this guy. That looks a little bit better. So yeah, hopefully I answered your question, Entertainment. That's how much you can print. So I normally, again, for my D&D games, I buy like a liter of resin each month. And resin nowadays is quite affordable. A couple of years ago, it was super expensive. Super expensive. Yeah. So Christopher, yes, you should combine everything. It should be a watertight mesh. That's very important. Everything should be watertight for 3D printing. That's the proper way to do it. So eventually the eyes and the horns or the tusks are gonna be combined into a single subtool as well. As for the painting process, I'm not that good of a painter. I'm not bad. I would consider myself like amateur. I know a couple of techniques and stuff. There's way better teachers here at YouTube. There's one guy, I recently subscribed to him. I think he's called Da Vinci something. He's really good. He speaks Spanish. If you can speak Spanish, if not, there's a lot of other ones. I am using Army Painter acrylics. I do recommend getting acrylics for miniatures because they have better coverage and you get a better, smoother result. But even normal acrylics, as long as you properly like dilute them, you can get a nice result as well. Yeah, we can do polypainting for concepting. So for instance, here I could just throw in some very basic colors. It's like this sort of like desaturated blue. I'll move this to the side. And then it has like some purple stuff. So I've seen people do this, where they will throw in some quick, just like a paint job. Go for like a light green. And then we go to the tusks and we go for like that. Some people like to work like this, like just get a general idea of how the colors are gonna look. If you don't like this, remember that you can go here to the side and just click the little icon there. And other people, they will just like select a very basic like color like that, so that they can get a better of the idea of how things are looking. Do you also use an airbrush? No, I don't have an airbrush for my miniatures. I paint with brush, like just traditional brush. Doka, if you're comfortable with this topic, can you please talk a bit about 3D earnings for freelancers? Yeah, I can talk about it. I do feel comfortable. So the thing is, it depends a lot, right? So it depends a lot on the country. It depends a lot on the type of project that you're doing. It depends a lot on the type of client that you get. Here in Mexico, I would say I do make like a nice amount above the average, but that's because most of my clients are international. So for instance, Nalin here, he pays me in dollars. The courses that we sell, dollars. When I get clients from the United States or Canada, that's dollars. And when you convert that to pesos, to Mexican pesos, you can get a nice amount of revenue. So my best advice is to try and do research on what the average is for your country, for the specific thing that you're doing. And then do the same thing for the country where they're hiring you from. So for instance, in the United States, I'm not sure if this number is still up to date, but when I graduated 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I don't know, when I graduated, a junior 3D artist would be making, if he was being hired at a game studio or something, he will be making something like $25 to $30 an hour, right? So that was my rate. Like back in the day, that was my rate. It's like, okay, I'm gonna charge you $25 or $30 an hour. And charging that here in Mexico was charging pretty much the same as a doctor charges. So it was quite good. But my skills are were quite good, so I could afford that. But again, you need to yeah, that's fine, Ariane. I'll answer your email, okay? I don't have time right now to go over that one, but I'll answer with some feedback. So yeah, like go and try to understand how much money there is to be made from what we do. And then you, of course, have to offer something to the client that are gonna make them go like, okay, yeah, this guy's worth it. Like I know if he's asking for, like, let's say this guy, right? This is a perfect example. Let's say someone asks me, hey, I'm just a D&D player and I want this little creature because it's gonna be the final boss for one of the adventures I'm running. I would probably charge him, like if someone like that comes and it's like that, I would probably charge him like $30. Okay, just $30, because I know this is gonna take me like maybe 1-2 hours to finish. It's gonna be fun, and I know he's not gonna be using for anything but a like home game, right? It's like a commission, so that's fine. Like we can go low. But if he's like, hey, I'm Paizo, and we're releasing a series of 3D prints, and we want you to do this because we're gonna be selling it. Oh, okay. In that case, I'm gonna charge you like a big client, so I'm probably gonna charge like probably like $150 to $100 for a 3D model of this guy. because I know that they're going to be selling it for $5, but they're going to be selling thousands of this, right? So they're going to make their profit. And it's a really tricky thing, to be honest. And I wish schools taught this more, because I wasn't taught this. I had to learn this the bad way, right? Like undercharging or overcharging, like losing clients, gaining other types of clients, losing money. It's horrible to have to figure this out yourself, but unfortunately it happens. So yeah, it's try to do a research on how much your client is going to use it for, what type of company they are, how much you should charge for. And you should never, this will be my advice, you should never give away your work. I never do work for free or for like future promises. There's a lot of clients that are going to be like, hey, it happened a lot with the NFTs a couple of months ago or last year. They were like, hey, we're doing an NFT collection. We need 1,000 renders or 10,000 renders of this character. Can you do it? I'll be like, yeah, I can do it, but I'm not going to do it for free. I had one client who hired me, and I did a couple of tests of something that he wanted to do, but I was like, I'm going to charge you for the tests. Like, if you want me to do it, to show another potential client that this could be possible, I'm going to charge you. And they did pay. I did one like monkey, like a stoner monkey thing. No, it was not a monkey, it was a kangaroo. Now that I remember, it was a kangaroo, like stoner kangaroo. And at the end, they didn't hire the whole project. I just did that one piece. But I charged them because I have a friend who did like, I don't know how many. He's really angry about that. He never told me the exact amount, but he did so many like renders for a guy who was doing NFTs. And at the end, the guy did not pay him a single cent. And he was really angry because he saw that the guy who hired him was partying in like yachts and with Lamborghinis and stuff. And he was not paying the artist. So it was really, really frustrating. But unfortunately, that's why I always tell them, never work for free. It's not smart. Only work for free if you can afford to lose the money that you are promised. If you can't afford that, like if you're sustaining a family, if you have kids, or if you're the only income in your house, don't do that, because if they don't pay you, then not only are you gonna suffer, everyone else in your household might be affected. And I know that's a little bit of a sad story, but unfortunately that's part of life as well. So I'll rather you guys learn it from me and learn from my mistakes than hear that some of you got like tricked or something later on. If you can, like here in Mexico, unfortunately, there's not a lot of there's not a lot of culture about contracts. People don't like using contracts. Everything's just like, yeah, he told me, and I promised, and then that's it. In the United States, everything is done with contracts to protect yourself. And I do advise my students and everyone, if you can do a contract or at least a written agreement, just so that you can be protected, it's usually going to be better. And it's a way to formalize things as well, which I always think it's useful for everyone. Yeah, there's a lot of people getting screwed, unfortunately. There's a book that I got several years ago. Let me see if I have it here. Give me 1 second. No, I can't find it, but it's called like pricing guidelines for artists and something like that, and they do a new version every year, and it gives you like rough estimates of how much you should charge like a TV company, how much you should charge a film company, how much you should charge a video game company, depending on the type of work that they're offering. I find that book to be useful as a reference point. It's not like you can enforce that, like it's not law. But it gives you a rough estimate on how much you can charge them, depending on, again, the type of work that you're going to be doing for them. So yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. I'm not gonna lie. but it's part of the job. You got to learn how to do that, how to negotiate. Well, here's the thing. I've also mentioned this before. I've always feel like, as for us as artists, there's 3 things that you can do. You can work for a company, and you're gonna get paid the salary, and you're gonna get certain benefits and stuff. And at the end of the day, you go home and you don't have to worry about the project because it's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is only doing what they tell you to do when you're at work. That's a great way to do it. I have a lot of friends that do that. The second one is being a freelancer. Okay, so kind of like being your own boss. And that's when you're gonna have to learn how to what's the word? Oh, what happened here? I clicked the undo history. That's when you're gonna have to learn how to negotiate, how to come up with agreements and stuff like that. And the final one is to start your own business. So not look for work, but rather offer services. That's what I'm doing right now. Like one of my main sources of income is the studio Hyperlab, which I have with a partner. And that's what we do. Like it's not that we don't accept a job. Like someone says, hey, I want to work with you, we want to do this, that's fine. But normally we are going out there offering a service. And it's a slightly different like line of business, but it's been fun so far. It's been fun. So you as an artist, you have to decide which of those things you want to do for your life, pretty much. All of them have advantages and disadvantages. Like one of the cool things about being a freelancer is that you get control over your time. So you decide when you work, how you work, with who you work, and that's really great. But also there's gonna be, like I've had several times during the pandemic, it was really difficult during the pandemic because there was no works, right? There was no jobs. Everything was closed, everything was going through this really ugly like downsizing. So you had to adapt, and you had to be prepared. You need to save to be prepared for those times when there's not going to be a lot of money. Yeah, of course. Not everyone's going to answer. That's just part of life, right? I tend to answer as much as I can, like what I'm doing right now. But I've had some messages that I just don't see or forget about, and then 2-3 months pass, and I haven't gotten back to the people that asked me, and I feel really bad, but we all have things to do, right? So it's a little bit difficult to keep up with everything. Which services, this that I'm doing right now, like sculpting, it's a great way to offer like a service, because there's a lot of people doing 3D printing. There's a lot of people doing, like, again, commercials and stuff. So if you can offer your services as a modeler, as a sculptor, and your work is good, that's the thing. You need to practice, and you need to get good at it, because you're competing against a large portion of artists that are doing the same. But if you can do that, that's a good way to get some extra revenue. You can also, like, I've seen some people focus on creating assets for, like, marketplaces, like the Unreal Marketplace or Unity, ArtStation. And then they sell their stuff for like $1, like on a collection of hairbrushes, and they create some hairbrushes and they sell them for like $1, and they make quite a little bit of revenue. Like every now and then they're gonna be like selling 1, 2, or 3 of those packages, and yeah, they get some nice money from there as well. Yeah, there's quite a bit of ways to do it. And another big like advice that I give everyone, hopefully some of you guys listen to what I'm about to say, there is way more things in the world that are not games and movies. The entertainment industry is great. It's very, very fun to do. Like doing this little guy right here is really fun. But there's a lot of other industries out there that need people that know how to do 3D for a lot of different things: architecture, dentists, doctors. Like there's so many opportunities out there, the manufacturing companies and stuff. So if you can offer your service to one of those industries, you're gonna be one of the first ones maybe to do that, and then you can create your own niche market. Yeah, it's not the same, like you're not doing like robots and aliens, but still 3D is still work. So that's another option. Duca, that will be passive income, exactly. Like if you sell those kits or those like brushes and stuff, that will definitely be passive income. Nishta, hi Rahab, do you know how to use Houdini? No, I do not. I got the course recently, the new one that we released. We released a Houdini course, I believe it was November or December last year. Should be there on Udemy as well. I got it, and I've been waiting. I've been waiting to get some free time to learn it. But no, I don't know Houdini. Never used it. What are the job opportunities? There's a lot. I've heard there's a lot of BFX works being open in games, because now with Unreal Engine and Unity being so powerful, you can create really great looking effects inside of those engines. And you need to use Houdini to generate like the textures or the atlases that they use, and then import them into the game engines. So there's a lot of BFX work for games, because not like there's very few people that want to do BFX as well, because it's really technical, really complicated. I think like that's one of the things that I've always struggled with, which is BFX. Yeah, you're welcome, sellers. You are welcome. We're about to finish the stream for today, guys. I thought we could finish this, but I was a little bit too optimistic. So I think I'm gonna leave this for the week. I'm gonna have a video during the week where I finish the sculpting and I show you the 3D printing process again. We saw it a little bit with last week with the terrain piece. But I wanna go over it again and actually 3D print this guy, because it's not gonna be as big. It's gonna be probably like this size. And yeah, we got some announcements before we leave. First of all, this weekend we're gonna have a portfolio review. You can go back to some of the videos from last week, and you're gonna find the link on the description. You can submit your portfolio, and I will be reviewing it during the weekend to give you advice and let you know which pieces I think are good and which ones you might need to take out and stuff. And other than that, we're still going with our whimsical creature contest. That one's still going. You can find more info about that on the January videos. I'll probably do another one today, or not today, to this week, so that everyone is aware of the deadlines, which is February 28th. What else? I think that's it. We'll have one more. Have you guys liked the live streams? I want to know. Have you guys liked this Monday live streams that we've been doing? This is the third one, I think, or the fourth one. I wanted to do something different this year, and it's been working quite nice, I think. Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good to know. Yeah, look at that. 39 viewers right now. Almost 500 views in just 1 hour. That's amazing. If you link me your animations, like a Vimeo or YouTube video, I can give you feedback on animation. Yes. Like just submit the play blasts, and I can look over those. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I've also I was having a really hard time. I'm gonna confess, because I was recording every day, like every day of the week, and on Sundays it was really difficult to record for Mondays, because I had to record and edit the thumbnail and stuff like that. So I was like, how can I free my Sundays to spend with my family? And this was the idea, like, oh, if I do a live stream on Monday, then that means I don't need to record on Sunday, and therefore I got more free time. So it's been working quite nice. The channel has been growing quite a bit as well. A lot of new faces, a lot of new people. Live portfolio reviews, we've done those before. We might do it this... No, not this Saturday. Maybe next time. Because this Saturday I got some personal things that I need to take care of. But we've done them before. I remember last year we did some live portfolio reviews as well. The thing is, it's very difficult to know if the person that submitted is going to be online, and I want to give everyone a fair chance to take a look at their stuff. But yeah, we'll maybe one of these Mondays we'll do like some live portfolio reviews. Will you do any more tutorials on using ZSpheres? Yes, of course. We can talk about those later as well. Of course, of course. Not bad for 1 hour, right? Let's save this real quick. You're welcome, Nexttut. You are welcome. So one of the cool things about having a small channel is that I can pretty much answer everyone's questions. What's the name of this thing? Slurk. There we go. So yeah, not bad for 1 hour. I would say we're probably halfway there in regards for the, yeah, we're roughly halfway there. Cool. Thank you guys. So random questions from NoPhoneX. Is it easy to create realistic web material on Maya? You mean for like spiders and stuff? Yeah, you can use an alpha. And there was a blogging a while ago. Let me just make some space over here. Get my keyboard back. So Maya web. It was like cow or cobweb. Maya cobweb plugin. There. So it's this cobwebs plugin, and it's look at that. It just creates curves, and then you render those curves. So it's a really cool plugin. I'm not sure how much it costs. I'm guessing there has to be some sort of like free things. For instance, this one is like, there you go, $40. So a little bit expensive, but you can get some really cool results. I know Blender has something that's free, so maybe you could do it in Blender and then export the curves to Maya. That could be another option. But yeah, or if not, the easiest one is just get some spider webs. Spider web. And get some black and white images, like this ones. And you can use this as an alpha channel. It's not going to look as great as the curves, but it's going to give you a nice result. So those would be my suggestions for the webs. Cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm really thankful for your time. Thank you for being here during the live stream. Make sure to check the videos on the channel. There's a lot of stuff there that you can learn from as well. And I'll be seeing you back tomorrow with more 3D content. If you can help us with a like, with a share, subscribe, all that stuff, you know, it really helps. And yeah, that's it. So I'll show the Ariane scene on one of these videos, okay, Nexttut? Because I really gotta go. But thank you very much, guys. Have a great night or a great day. Have a great week as well. And I'll be here in the channel for any questions. Leave me your questions on the comments on all of the videos as well. I'm happy to answer them as soon as I can. See you tomorrow, my friends. Bye-bye.